Something mysterious just happened in Russia, leaving the indigenous people and the world shocked. It isn't a meteorite shooting down the sky or a comet bringing about the world's end. This occurrence has been more astonishing, causing people to doubt the essence of their existence and sending reverberations throughout worldwide religious groups. What is the cause of this mystery? Is it a divine message that warns about the end of the world? Well, buckle up and join us as we unravel the mystery of what just happened in Russia that has shocked every religious person. Number 1. Iskitimka River. Russia has been in various new headlines for over a year now because of its war with Ukraine, but the country is now in the news again for something entirely different. In recent reports, the calmness of the Iskitimka River, located in southern Russia, has been disturbed by this alarming change. The river's crystal-clear waters have mysteriously turned into a startling shade of red, like beetroot. The sudden color change has attracted the attention of residents and authorities. Residents were the first to notice the river's sudden change and its effect on wildlife. The footage of the discolored river spread rapidly across social networking platforms, capturing public attention due to its uncommon appearance. Ducks, typically found in water, were unwilling to enter the contaminated river. This occurrence did not just happen overnight.
Residents of a barangay in Laguna saw their river turn to the color of blood over the weekend.
In recent months, reports about other Russian rivers facing similar mysterious discolorations have raised concerns about potential environmental problems and the absence of transparency. Despite extensive research, the origin of the river's red tide remains uncertain, with various theories being proposed, but one certain thing is that the unwillingness of ducks to enter the river indicates that there may be a hazardous component present in the water, and this has triggered fierce reactions among social media users as they emphasize the environmental harm that may result from this strange occurrence and that the local environment is in grave danger. The viral spread of images of the Blood River had led to its comparison by some religious persons to when Moses turned the Nile River to blood to warn the Egyptian king of God's punishment that would occur in Egypt. This occurrence follows less than 2 months after Mecca, the most important holy site for Muslims, witnessed heavy rainfall that caused chaos, closed schools, affected pilgrims, and forced citizens to take shelter and stop cars. Videos on social media showed pilgrims getting soaked and slipping on the floor while performing the tawaf, a ritual where they circle the Kaaba, causing concern among the Muslim community. In addition, lightning struck the iconic Fairmont Mecca Clock Royal Tower Hotel, compounding the situation. The National Center for Meteorology reported that the storm brought gale-force winds exceeding 80 kilometers per hour, and the Mecca neighborhood of Al-Kakiyah recorded 45 millimeters of rain within 24 hours. Although the flooding had mostly dissipated after 48 hours, the Meteorology Center warned of further storms bringing rain, wind, and thunder. Furthermore, a month ago, a massive swarm of locusts plagued Mecca again, prompting authorities to launch a cleaning operation to remove them from the city. Videos on social media showed the insects swarming around cleaners and worshippers in the Grand Mosque. According to CNN, officials identified the locusts as migratory black grasshoppers and said 22 teams of 138 people were dispatched to deal with the infestation. This occurrence has caused concern among the Muslim community and authorities, who are working tirelessly to ensure the safety and comfort of guests at God's house. Despite the consecutive natural disasters, the Muslim community remains resilient, and authorities are taking every measure to ensure the safety and security of pilgrims who visit the holy city. The cleaning and eradication operations have successfully removed the locusts, and the city is slowly recovering from the recent flooding. An investigation has been urgently required to find the cause of the discoloration in the Iskitimka River and evaluate the possible threats. Number 2. Is this a divine sign? What is the cause of the occurrence? Numerous explanations have been proposed for the river's reddish color. Some residents suspect iron ore deposits within the riverbed, while others indicate that industrial waste is responsible. Nevertheless, the probe has concentrated on a nearby industrial facility and mining enterprise owned by Norilsk Nickel.
Norilsk Nickel competes for the top spot as the world's biggest producer of nickel and palladium. The industry has made Norilsk one of Russia's top polluted cities and taken a toll on the health of locals and the environment.
A substantial portion of the world's nickel is manufactured by this industrial powerhouse, which also produces copper, stainless steel, and palladium. The Ministry of Natural Resources announced an investigation into possible chemical pollution after they suspected a leak from a Norilsk nickel slurry pipe. Nevertheless, Norilsk nickel strongly refutes any implication, asserting that the river's hue falls within its regular spectrum. In addition to the mystery, even though they maintain their innocence, Norilsk nickel has decreased its output due to caution. This action appears inconsistent and adds to the rumors surrounding their possible participation. Although the discussion on accountability continues, environmental issues remain a top priority. A Greenpeace researcher in Russia, Vladimir Tolokhanov, conveyed his profound worry about the river's aquatic life. Through his statement, he expressed that Greenpeace has called for a water analysis to increase transparency and prevent officials from minimizing the possible environmental disaster. The current reddish color of the Russian river has drawn attention, but it's not the first time it has experienced unusual discoloration. According to the reports, a similar incident occurred in June, but it was described as having a darker shade of red. The absence of attention in the past has raised important questions about the supervision and accountability of the environment in the area. Number 3. What is the effect of this now crimson river on the people and environment of that region? Industrial activity and pollution are common in this part of Russia. Amidst this backdrop, Norilsk Nickel, a major mining and metals company, stands tall. Although their role in the current event is unknown, their history of environmental actions raises suspicion. Rumors of possible agreements and associations with top-tier officials, including Russian President Putin, add to the situation's complexity. Even though there is still some confusion, more people showing interest in this issue is a small sign of hope. Vladimir Chubarov, who works for Greenpeace Russia, thinks that companies that care too much about making money are hurting the natural world and the lives of regular people. This can lead to a decreased aquatic population, dirty drinking water, and respiratory diseases. The residents of this small town struggling with industrial pollution face problems affecting their health, employment, and community culture. Number 4. How should this matter be addressed? Regardless of whether Norilsk Nickel or another party is responsible, it is the duty of the organization, the government, and supervisory organizations to address this issue with transparency, accountability, and prompt action so as to restore the river's well-being and safeguard the lives of those who rely on the river. This is not just one event. It is a clear indication that if industrial waste disposal and other industrial activities are not checked, they could endanger the country's environment and ultimately affect every other sector of the country, making it a living nightmare for citizens as living conditions become incredibly harsh. Number 5. Other instances of rivers turning red. In 2016, the Danube River in Hungary suddenly turned crimson red, like the Iskitimka River. An industrial waste spill from a nearby factory caused this. This river, once a popular destination for fishing and boating, is now deserted, with its fish struggling to survive in polluted waters. As a consequence of the event, there was an uproar, which led to the introduction of stricter guidelines and initiated a discussion on corporate responsibility. Despite the eventual return of the Danube's waters to their usual blue color, the damage that it caused remains. The Yellow River in China has a history of experiencing sudden and unpredictable floods due to its heavily silted waters. In 2017, it displayed a new form of wrath. In the vicinity of Lanzhou, the river exhibited a bright red color due to industrial waste and algae proliferation. The pollutants in the water were large and made it hard for sea animals to live. Citizens are still worried about future occurrences, and if this keeps happening, the environment won't be able to last. Millions hold a deep place in their hearts for India's sacred river, the Ganges. Nevertheless, in 2019, its waters took on an alarming shade of red, spoiling the faith of those who depended on it for nourishment and spiritual comfort. Industrial dyes, religious offerings, and untreated sewage caused it. Once revered, the river is now seen as a symbol of environmental disregard, with its reddened waters serving as a sad reminder of the need for prudent water usage and sustainable building practices. The lament of the Ganges echoed throughout India, triggering demonstrations and prompting calls for measures to revive its source of sustenance. In 2020, the Tijuana River, which flows along the boundary between Mexico and the United States, experienced a terrible transformation as its waters were tainted with raw sewage and industrial waste, causing it to turn red. The smell of hopelessness spread across the boundary, an unmistakable indication of the ecological inequalities experienced by border regions. Another occurrence happened in 2016 when the Elbe River in Germany, which previously represented national unity, flowed with a dark red color. A broken pipe caused this at a sugar processing facility. This industrial damage led to a flood of reddish-brown syrup, polluting the river with a disgusting sweetness. Fish struggled in this sweet liquid, fighting for breath as the sticky sugar trapped their breathing organs. People all over the country heard the Elbe River making a loud noise. This made people realize that small accidents can easily damage even the strongest rivers. The once tranquil waters of the Rio Tietê in São Paulo's busy city have been transformed into a war zone due to crimson algae blooms. Due to agricultural runoff and raw sewage pollution, the river became a silent graveyard, leading to algae growth.
American Rivers released its top 10 list of endangered rivers in the United States. Number 5 on that list is Montana's Clark Fork River.
The Clark Fork River, which flows through Montana in the American West, has been marked by the legacy of mining. For decades, copper mines have been discarding their toxic waste into the water bodies, resulting in a reddish tint and the death of fish due to poisoning. The sad noise in Clark Fork's water showed how upset many people are about environmental unfairness. They want a world where rivers and streams are clean and not polluted. The Indus River in Pakistan, once the birthplace of various ancient civilizations, has recently flowed with blood-red water, as red dust emitted from brick kilns on its banks stains the water with an eerie shade of rust. This industrial sediment has led to the pollution of the Indus River, which threatens the lives of millions of people who rely on it as a water source. Thanks for watching. Do well to like this video and subscribe for updates. While you're still here, click the video on your screen for more mind-blowing videos.